My name is Raju Vyas.
Raju Vyas.
I'm a freelance journalist, Huzur.
Yes, I know. Vyas is a Sri Lankan name. I've been there many times.
No, Vyas are Hindu.
No?
The great Vyas, V-Y-A-S.
I see. Right.
I'm Hindu by religion.
I've-
You, sir,
Not
are
Tamil.
heading- I beg your pardon?
You're not Tamil.
No, I'm Gujarati Hindu from
That's
India.
right.
You, sir, are heading a very difficult task, in my view, in a very pressed time. You are swimming against the tide. How do you get the strength? How do you preach the strength? Do you have any fear? And how do you give strength to your followers from the other Muslims who do not accept you, sir?
Thank you. Well, swimming against time is the most important part of your question. But those who swim against the tides, they always change the tides if they're right. So gradually, the swimming becomes less arduous and easier as you proceed, because the times change along with you. All the prophets of God who founded a religion, all the law-bearing, not only law-bearing, but founders of religions, started swimming against the time single-handed, alone by themselves. And what happened? The tides were changed. And it is that history from which we draw our strength. You said strength, where you get the strength? Strength can only be drawn from faith. Faith born on the hard facts of history or hard facts of nature. The rest of the faiths are just faiths and no more. They can't even change the lives of those who hold those faiths. And this is the dilemma of the present world. So this is how you can recognize Ahmadiyyat as standing out differently from the community of other religions. Otherwise, just we are one of so many. Why should you be interested in us, not in others? And this is the line of demarcation which you have suggested to me, that we are strong in faith. So much so strong that we can adhere to the faith so faithfully, despite the fact that we have to offer sacrifices of our lives, of our properties, of our honor, continuously over a large number of years. Consistently we have been doing it. So that is an indication that we do have faith. And the faith must be founded on something. It has to be truth. Otherwise, the faith which are founded on fantasies can work for a while, they create a stir. But that is only an infatuation, it's not love. It doesn't last. Faith, the true faith, is the lasting motive force which drives humans to an end with a purpose. So the last 100 years of Ahmadiyyat has proved it already, that we have stood the tests of times. In Pakistan, it is punishable by death to declare La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. Did you know that? To claim that Allah is one and Muhammad is his prophet and servant. If an Ahmadi makes this claim, it is punishable by death under 295C, which would not permit even for such a criminal to be bailed out. Because this is the crime of the gravest nature according to the law of Pakistan now, fully supported by the Supreme Court's decisions. Now, something is happening which is so strange. Something is happening which never happened before in the history of human persecution, religious or otherwise. Now, you find persecution everywhere in the world. Why? Because some people dare to disagree with you. Not because they dare to agree with you. So here is something new added to the history of human persecution. Of course you hear of so much persecution in Russia, persecution of those who would disagree with communist philosophy. Right. But I never read Stalin punishing or anybody else, forcing somebody for the fact that he fully agreed and endorsed the views of communism. The same is depicted by the history of Christianity during the 300 years before Dark Ages, when in many countries of Europe, Christians were persecuted for holding different views from Christianity as was understood by the dominant society. Never before you would find an example of a people gone so mad, so. But there has to be some reason. After all, other things of life, they are not bad. And when you understand the reason, there, at the same moment, you understand the truth of Ahmadiyya community. They tried their best to stem the tide. They took all possible measures to stop the passage of Ahmadiyya and failed. So now they say that is the only way out. Punish them for agreeing with the fundamentals of Islam so that if they deviate, then the Muslims will stop following them. If they do not, then they lose their lives. Now this is the dastardly plan which ultimately has been put into action through legal help, through legislation, because it's the ultimate of acceptance of defeat. Ahmadiyya has to be so true, so strong, so powerful, that still it continues to flourish in Pakistan. Not a day has dawned since, not a sun has set on Pakistan when Ahmadiyya did not flourish on and on and on, progressed from strength to strength. So this is exactly what happened in the early periods of Christianity. And that is what we present to the Christians as a proof of Jesus reborn. Not in person, but in spirit, in character. Because this is the essence of Christianity. If somebody slaps you on one cheek, offer the other one. And this, according to Jesus Christ, was far more powerful instrument of battle with the falsehood than raising sword against sword. And we have proved it. In Pakistan, I do not permit Ahmadis to retaliate because the founder of the Ahmadiyya community did not permit us to retaliate with the same coins. So what we are doing is patience and tell them to, all right, beat the life out of us if you may, if you can. But you can't beat the faith out of us, with the grace of Allah. Thank you.